Being able to talk about controversial topics in a professional, respectful, and inclusive manner takes skill and preparation. Each of us brings different beliefs, values, experience, and perspectives to the table. Have you ever participated in a discussion that went downhill fast? This could be due to a number of reasons, such as people's lack of self-awareness, their overconfidence, or a misunderstanding. While we go through formal education, acquiring writing and reading skills, very few, if any of us, get trained in how to have difficult interpersonal conversations at work about topics that are hot-button issues. If you haven't already navigated a discussion like this, you most likely will at some point in your career. How can you prepare yourself to be ready? Mary Frances Winters, founder and president of the Winters Group, shares 4 tips for how to get yourself ready. In her book, We Can't Talk About That at Work, Winters describes the first step as focusing on cultural self-understanding by exploring your cultural identity. This requires taking time to do a deep introspective dive into who you are, where you came from, and all of the different influences you've had in your life. In other words, exploring your culture in the broadest sense. This isn't just about your identity or physical characteristics, but also includes your mindset about differences, your values and beliefs, the norms that shaped your beliefs, and so on. The second step is getting beyond blindness. Winters describes this as needing to recognize and acknowledge differences. For example, claiming to not see color or race may be good intended, but in fact minimizes difference and the real experiences of people who are a different color than you. Winters argues for upgrading the golden rule to the platinum rule, where we should treat others the way they want to be treated. The third step Winters offers is facing your fears and biases. Each of us has some level of fear and uncertainty when entering bold conversations about controversial or polarizing topics. However, it's important to have the conversations anyway, despite those fears. Ask yourself, what am I afraid of? Identify the fears, where they're coming from, and any biases that might be involved. It takes courage to face our fears and to move forward with discomfort. Know that everyone has biases in every culture. What's important is that we strive to understand them, learn from them, and adapt our thoughts or narratives for a more inclusive response in the future. The final step is to acknowledge your power and privilege. Winters points out that power and privilege are relative and that to some extent, we all have it in certain situations. What we aren't here to do is blame individuals or groups for their power and privilege. These issues are more complex the deeper we examine them. Winters challenges us to change our perspective of power. It's not a zero-sum game, but can mean shared power, infinite power. For individuals from the dominant cultural groups, work on learning about unearned power and advantages. Ask yourself if you have influence over a situation or outcome and why that may be. Taken together, these 4 steps that Winters lays out for us can guide our preparation for inclusive conversations. Of course, the preparation is never complete. These steps can continue to challenge us after each conversation as we reflect further on what we can do differently next time.